Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And did you guys hear the story of the parents that had to evict their 30-year-old son? Now, y'all, when I do this video, I'm going to have to fight to keep from laughing because this shit is funny. Y'all know I got a 31-year-old son, so let me just tell y'all the story and then let me tell you how that went in my house. So these parents, and you're seeing the parents here, they had done everything that they could think of to get their 30-year-old son to move the hell out of their house. You know, cajoled him, offered to, pay, I guess, rent and deposit down on an apartment for his simple ass. And he still would not move out. So finally, their last recourse was to take his simple ass to court and fight it in court. Now, let me just back up a moment, y'all, here. I blame the parents, and let me tell you why. Because teaching a boy to be a man starts when he's a little boy. And for this young man to feel that it's okay to stay in his parents' house at his age is something that shows a sign of selfishness on his part and a lack of them teaching him what it was meant to be a man when he was little. So let me just go on with the story. So yeah, after trying to do everything they could think of to get his punk ass out, they had to take him to court. Now, the judge ruled in favor of the parents. They told him to get his simple ass up out them folk house and go here somewhere and find him someplace else to live. Now, he says that he's going to fight it, that he thinks it's unfair. He had asked for 6 months. He thought the amount of time that the parents were giving him to, find a place wasn't reasonable. He needed 6 months. That's what he set up in the courtroom and told the fucking judge. I was watching this. I was like, is this a joke? Is this really real? Y'all, I could not believe it. And what I have to say about this, as a parent of a son that just turned 31, is this. From the moment my son could understand the following words that I told him as he was growing up, I started telling him what I used to tell my son when he was little. And, I would ask him to do certain things around the house or in the yard or to fix something or be responsible. As I would always say this, I would always say, son, one day you are going to be someone's husband. There is going to be some woman and some children depending on you to be strong, to be hardworking, to have a level head, someone who's able to make decisions under pressure, and just be an all-around good, strong black man. And I told him, so when you're growing up, if it feels like sometimes we are a little hard on you or we expect a little bit more out of you, it's because we want you to be a well-rounded man. My son knows how to cook. And I mean, he can cook, y'all. And it's because when he was growing up, I was, eventually became a single parent. He is 8 years older than his little sister, my daughter. And I had jobs that I got off at 7 o'clock in the evening. So I remember times when he would call me at work and he would be like, Mom, I see that you took out this chicken. You left this chicken out to thaw. Do you want me to go ahead and cook it? So I would be giving him directions over the phone of what he needed to do. And then when I would get home, he would have cooked it, cooked dinner for him and his little sister. Because if you get off at 7 with traffic and everything, as a mom, sometimes I wasn't getting home till almost 8 o'clock at night. So in doing that, he learned how to cook. He knows how to wash clothes, do his own laundry. He knows how to shop. And I don't mean just shop. My son, child, when you go to the grocery store with him, by the time he penny pinch and how much is this a pound, and if we go over here they get chicken wings 15 cents a pound over there, why are you shopping at this store? He will drive you crazy, you know. And all of this is because we taught him, you know, the value of a dollar, how to make it if you don't have a lot of money, all kinds of little lessons that over the years we taught him, so that when he did get a little family, if there were times where their money was funny and he needed to stretch a dollar and stay on a budget and not go out and, you know, spend money all willy-nilly because he had responsibility, he would know how to do it. We also taught him that being a man means being able to take care of yourself, to get out in the world and put your mark on the world. So when I look at these parents of this young man, I'm wondering, when he was growing up, were they the type of parents that spoiled him? Were they the type of parents that didn't put a high bar and expect him to meet certain things? Did they let him get away with stuff? Because when you do that, you do nothing but ruin your child. And I can talk from 31 years of experience. You know, when you look at motherhood, if you look at my son's age, I got 31 years of experience. When you're raising a child, what you put in them when they're growing up is what you get out of them when they are adults. My son, just this past Mother's Day, he called me. He didn't give me nothing for Mother's Day, but he called me. And this was the greatest gift that he could have given me. He told me, Mom, he said, I just wanted to let you know that you are or have been the best mother any guy could have. And I was surprised. And then he went on to explain why. And then one thing he told me, he said, there were things that you did when I was growing up that I didn't like. He said, and at the time, I didn't understand why you were doing it and why you made me do such certain things or wouldn't let me do certain things. He said, but as I look around at some of my friends and their parents, he said, now I understand why you did those things. He said, and I want to thank you for being a little bit harder on me, because it has taught me a lot and it has prepared me for life. And for a parent, those words mean more than any gift that he could have ever given me, because it showed me that he thought about, you know, the upbringing that he had, and he appreciated it. You know, now that he's out in the world and he's old enough to understand, and he's been out there a while, because my son actually moved out when he was 21. Because once again, I had told him, you know, you're a man. You need to get out in the world and you need to learn how to be a man out in the world. Now, in hindsight, as a parent, now knowing how hard it is for young people out there, I wish I would have let him stay home a little bit longer. But he feels that, you know, those first few years when he was learning his way, learning how to pay bills and, you know, pay his rent and, you know, keep everything going, you know, set the foundation for the man that he is today. So he appreciates it, even though in hindsight, I probably should have let him stay home for a couple more years. It would have saved him a lot of headache with things that he went through when he was, you know, between the ages of 21 and 23. But this young man here, who a parent had to literally take their child to court because the motherfucker won't move out, y'all, that shit wouldn't have flown in my house. First of all, a teenage boy will eat you out of house and fucking home. Y'all, I remember one time my daughter was spending the weekend with her dad. You know, remember my daughter is 8 years younger than my son. So my son was about 19 or so. So I had told him that I was going to fry me and him a bag of wings, and I was going to make a big salad, and then I was going to go lay down. You know, I was tired. I had been working all week. So y'all, I had gone to Walmart and bought this big bag of wings. And I told him that I was going to fry them all up Friday, and me and him was going to eat on them, you know, all the way until Sunday. So I fried the wings, made us a big salad, and I went and took a little nap. Later on, y'all, I woke up. Now let me just backtrack a little bit. When I fried the wings, I had put them in a huge bowl. Now, y'all know the bowls that I'm talking about. You know how when you buy that plastic set of bowls and it has a whole bunch of bowls in it, and then there's one huge bowl, the very biggest one. So when I fried all that whole bag of wings, it filled up, and not only filled up that bowl, but the wings were humped over at the top. It was a big hump. So you get the picture. I woke up. I go in the kitchen to make me a plate. I'm hungry right about now. So I see the bowl sitting on the counter. Now, before I had went to take my nap, I had wrapped the bowl all up in plastic and put some foil on it, you know, because I had my wings in it. Child, when I came back, I noticed that the hump that was in it, when I originally wrapped it, there was no hump anymore. So I said, oh, this boy has really eaten a lot of wings, you know. So y'all, I go over there and, you know, I put the salad on my plate, and I go to put me some wings on my plate. I take the foil back and then peel back the plastic. Y'all, now you know when you're frying any type of food, you put a paper towel in the bottom of the bowl so any oil, excess oil, will drain down on the paper towel. When I tell y'all, when I took the lid off of the damn, well, the wrapping off the damn bowl, that I could see the paper towel down at the bottom, that's how many wings my son had ate. I almost passed out. So I go running to his room, banging on the door, and I tell him, Scott, come out here. And then when he comes out, you know how they looking all stupid. I said, how many wings did you eat? And he said, about 8, 9, you know, around something like that. I said, look, you ain't ate no 8 or 9 wings. You had to eat maybe like 28 or 29, because this fucking bowl was filled to the top and humped up, you know, and it was a big, one of them big army bags of wings from Walmart, the big, huge bags. So I said, look, boy, you ain't ate no 8 or 9. I ain't crazy. I said, you know, did you have company or something? He was like, no, standing there looking all simple. He was like, no, I didn't have company. So I said, you mean to tell me you ate all them goddamn wings by yourself? So he gonna stand there, y'all. Now, mind you, it's just me and him in the house. I only got 2 kids. My daughter gone for the weekend with her dad. He's telling me, he said, when I said, you ate all them damn wings, he gonna say, Mom, did you see me eat them? I said, motherfucker, look, I didn't need to see you eat them. I know my goddamn wings is gone. It's just me and you in the house. And unless I slept, you know, sleepwalked and walked in the damn kitchen and ate them in my sleep, you the only other person in the house. And he was like, there you go, blaming me for everything. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, is this boy crazy? And then while I'm standing there, I see a smile creep across his face, because he knew, but he just couldn't admit that he ate. This boy, y'all, when I tell y'all, he had to eat like 30 wings. He had to eat like 30. I even asked him, I said, did you eat some salad? Or did you just eat the wings? Did you just eat meat? And he was like, no, I ate some salad too. And then when I opened the bowl of salad, half the goddamn salad was gone. He didn't get a plate. This boy must have had his dinner on a fucking platter like you would put a turkey on during Thanksgiving. Another example of how boys eat is, you know how, again, you have that bowl set of bowls. My son could not just make a bowl of cereal with a regular bowl. He had to get the bowl like you would put your salad in, like you would mix up your salad. Once your salad is all mixed up, this is the bowl that you put it in with the lid. He would eat his cereal. I remember one Saturday I came in the kitchen and I just stood there and watched him pour some cereal into the bowl and then get his milk and pour it in there. And then what spoon he used. Y'all, he damn near poured in the whole box of cereal. When he finished pouring in the milk, half of the goddamn gallon of milk was in there. And he was eating the cereal with the spoon that you would probably stir a sauce with. That's how much cereal he had. I was standing there like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then, so when he turned around and saw me staring at him, I had started arguing at him. And I remember he got this funny look on his face. And he waited till I got done arguing. And he said, Mom, do you think I'm just eating like this to aggravate you or just eat up everything in the house? And then he said, I'm not doing it to aggravate you. I'm actually this hungry. So y'all, I was so outdone. Now by this time, he's 19 or so, 18, 19 or so. So I'm a single parent about this time. So I called my brother and I was like, look, what can I do to help fill up this boy's stomach? Because he's eating me out of house of goddamn home. So my brother was like, every meal, make sure you make some potatoes and give him some bread. He was like, that will help fill up his stomach. He was like, and I don't mean slices of bread. He said, because if you give him slices, he gonna eat a half a loaf of bread. He was like when you make spaghetti, he was like, don't he eat like 4 or 5 slices of bread? I said, yeah, he does. He said, don't get that boy no slices. You go get some big, huge hoagie buns and give him hoagie buns with it. He said that'll fill up some of that space in his stomach. He said, Rachel, he's eating that way because he actually is that hungry. So y'all, I went in, proceeded to get hoagie buns, 80 and 90 pound bags of potatoes. No, I'm just exaggerating. But I made sure that I had some bread and potatoes in every meal. So the fact that this 30-year-old man, getting back to this story, y'all, feels the need to stay with his parents. And then I think that I even heard that he had a child of his own, that he had fathered a child. He didn't have any type of pride in himself. And that's another thing. No pride in himself. Because there is no way that I would have stayed to the point that my parents had to take me to fucking court to get my ass out their house. And then that's another thing, y'all. Did he not realize that that's their home, their shit? And they have a right to have whoever they want in their home when they want them to be in their home. And when they say it's time to go, it's time to go. I cannot believe that they allowed him to stay that long. And that's getting back to the parents, y'all. They missed some lesson when he was growing up. Because there are a lot of times that, now that my kids are adults, they'll do something or I'll notice some behavior in them that I don't particularly like. And sometimes I'll ask myself, you know what? Was it something that I forgot to teach this fool when I was raising him or her? And this is the reason why they're displaying this type of behavior. Because my kids are not perfect, y'all. They have taken me through different life's ups and downs that teenagers and young adults go through. So, at those times, I, as a parent, wonder, hey, did I mess up when I was teaching them this, that, or the other? Because, once they're adults, your work is done, and whatever you put in them is going to manifest itself when they are adults. You'll be able to see all the fruits of your labor by the way that your kids are. Now, I'm not talking about like if you are a parent and your child grows up to be a serial killer. That's not always your damn fault. It could be the child was just a little twisted. But in a situation like this, something is wrong with this young man, because not only did he stay, when he lost the case, he is talking about fighting it, continuing to fight so he can stay at home. Child, look, you know how I started this video off and I said that shit wouldn't have flown in my house? Y'all, I keep telling y'all I'm not even 5 feet tall. But if that had been my son, let me tell y'all another incident that happened with my son when he was again about 18 or 19. I was arguing at him about something. Probably was some food he probably done ate, because it had gotten to the point that if it was something special that I didn't want him to eat, I had to hide the shit, because that tapeworm in his stomach couldn't stop him from eating everything. So I was arguing at him about something. And he walked away from me. So I continued to follow him, because he had turned his back and walked away from me. And I was, as a parent, you like, wait a minute. Don't you dare walk away from me. So I had followed him, and he had went on in his room. And as I'm walking damn near to the door, he slams the door in my face. So I said, okay, this is it. You know what? This is it. He 18, 19, he trying me now. Me and his dad done broke up, and he think he about to be running roughshod on me because he way bigger than me now. I got something for his ass. So when I tried the door handle, his door wasn't locked. Now, when on his wall, he had like baseball bats that he had collected, like little Louisville sluggers. I think that's what you call them. They're like, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I knew that one of them was right by the door. It was a Cleveland Indians red little Louisville slugger. So I snatched open that door, y'all, and with my right hand, and with my left hand, I reached around and pulled that little Cleveland Indians Louisville slugger off the wall. And he was sitting on his bed playing his game, y'all. Get ready to play his game. So he was like, what are you doing, Mom, with my bat? So I said, I'm about to wear your ass out with it. Y'all, I commenced to beep-bopping all over his, whoop, 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 all over his body. Was messing him up. Do you know this fool, my son, was acting like the hits, the slugs that I was giving him weren't even hurting. This fool was more concerned about me breaking his fucking bat than... He told me basically after it was over that, because I wasn't trying to crack his skull or nothing, y'all. I just wanted him to feel my wrath a little bit. So after it was over and I could barely breathe from trying to fuck him up, he came in my room and he was laughing. And he was like, Ma, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine now. He was like, you should have saw your face when you was hit me with the bat. He was like, Mom, I must admit, it really didn't even hurt me. But the look on your face, I had to holler because you were looking so intent when you was whooping me up with that bat that I wanted you to think that you were fucking me up. Well, he didn't cuss, y'all, because he went crazy. But he said that he wanted me to think that I was messing him up because I looked like I was about to have a heart attack, y'all. But that's just what I'm telling y'all. If that had been my house and I had asked him to get out several times, well, not even several times, because if it'd been one or two, no more than three, his ass would have been out my house. When he would have came home, all his shit would have been out on the curb. And like I said, I would have given him the eviction notice, because I do know that you have to actually evict them. And when the eviction time came up, his shit would have been out on the curb. I'm telling y'all, his shit would have been black garbage bags out on the fucking lawn. Now, y'all, all jokes aside, I might not have put him on the lawn for fear somebody would have came by and took him, but they would have been sitting out on the porch waiting on him. Locks would have been changed, and he wouldn't have been able to get back in. And if he tried me, now this was back in the day when police wasn't killing up boys like they killing them up now, I might have called the police on his ass. Y'all, I also used to threaten my son. Now this is a running joke between me and my son. You know how as a teenager they try you know, raise their voice or stomp away, or, you know, get a little rambunctious because he feels he's a man. So one time I had told him, I said, look, you are getting a little too mouthy and a little too aggressive. And then he was like, Mom, as he said, Mom something. And I said, boy, if you ever look like you was gonna hit me, I said, you would hit me, and then I would go throw myself down the basement stairs so I can get fucked up a little bit more, and then I would call the police and say that you assaulted me. He looked at me like, are you serious? I said, yep, I certainly am. And then I told him, I said, and you know how when they come fucking brothers up. So the whooping that you put on me when I call the police, but y'all know, seriously, I wouldn't have done nothing like that, because like I said, we all know that we will call, you know, maybe have to call the police on the family member, but when the police come, you know, the family member might be leaving on a stretcher fucking with them. So I would never have done that to my son, but I used to always threaten to go throw myself down the basement stairs so I could be fucked up when the police come there and be like, officer, my son assaulted me. And he used to be looking at me like, this woman is completely insane. But it kept him in line. Those little bitty things that I would do, you know, because he was bigger than me, you know, in all actuality, if he wanted to slap the shit out of me and slap me down the goddamn basement stairs, he could have. But the respect that I taught him, that I instilled in him from when he was a little boy for me, kept him in check. Now, I'm not going to say that there weren't times he was mouthy and I had to, you know, pop in him in his lips a couple times. There were. There weren't times that I had to run up and grab him and, you know, try to strangle him. There were. But there was only so far, I guess I should say, that he would go. You know, he was not one of those type of boys that ever, and to this day, he's 31 and he doesn't even cuss in front of me. He wasn't one of those boys that was like running up on me, you know, that I felt fear or anything of him. He just had a lot of mouth. So with these parents allowing their son to stay in their house, you know, all those years, I blame them ultimately. In a situation like this, and normally I always, you know, I'll say, you know, you can't blame your parent for everything. But in this case, the parents contributed to the young man that he is at 30, the ideas that he has about leaving home and going out there and making it on his own. Because I pushed my kids to be independent. Hell, y'all, even birds, you know, they will nurture their young for a little bit, and then eventually they damn near push the bird out the goddamn nest to make sure the bird can fly. So if birds can push their kids out the nest, this motherfucker need to go get his own place and leave his elderly damn parents alone. Y'all let me know if y'all heard about this story and what the hell y'all thought of it. Because, child, whoo, Lord, ain't no way. Ain't no way. No way. No way. That's all I got to say on this subject, y'all. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I know I was all over the place on this video, but it was just fun. Thank y'all for watching as always, and you guys have a good weekend. Bye-bye now.